Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tinfoil Hat. We really appreciate your support and the fact that you're even watching this video or listening to this podcast, so thank you very much. This episode is about Jonbenet Ramsey. Our guests are Andy Andrist and John Tole. Now here's the thing, this is a comedy podcast, but this episode gets pretty dark, so I wanted to forewarn you. It's a very dark episode. If you're not really into the dark stuff, you might not want to watch this one, but it gets pretty dark. So if you're into it, enjoy it. It's a crazy case. So if you watch it, enjoy it. If you want to skip it, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for all your support. We really appreciate it. Take care.
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat.
And welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We are in the belly of the beast here at the Comedy Store. We're doing a very special episode with a couple funny guys that we love. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, the one and only off-the-grid motherfucker, Ryan Davis, everybody.
I'm here. Let's get queer.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Guys, a couple things we want to get into before we introduce our guest. I want to introduce one guest. John Tole's joining us.
What's up, everybody?
Back by popular demand.
Yes.
The reason I'm bringing in John Tole's, John is part of the October 10th Tinfoil Hat Comedy Night. The first ever all conspiracy theory comedy night. It's a loaded lineup. At the Ice House.
Amazing.
Tickets are available at icehousecomedy.com. You got Eddie Bravo, Brendan Walsh, Gareth Reynolds, John Tolle, Vanessa Johnson, Sean Joshi, myself. Busting his comedy cherry right here is my man Ryan Davis. He's going to go up there and do 5 minutes on, I don't know what he's going to talk about, but it's going to be pure thunder. But that's not all. That's in the main room. In the room 2, the smaller room, we're doing the first ever live Tinfoil Hat podcast, but it's also a swap cast with our good friend Greg Carlwood from the Higher Side Chats. It's going to be live in the other room. All your favorite people talking conspiracies, in it to win it. Guys, follow us on Reddit. Go to reddit.com/Tinfoil Hat Show. Go to Twitter, Mad Hatter 39ers. And what else is there? Instagram.
Tinfoil Hat Pod.
Tinfoil Hat Pod. And, dude, what we're doing with our T-shirts, go to allcomedyt-shirts.com. We're putting fan art on there. People, the best fan art. We make limited edition, 39 editions of the 39 limited edition T-shirts that you can buy. It's all fan art. We're throwing them up there. And so the more you support the show, just buy a shirt and help us out. And yeah, man, I think. Oh, and then I'm going to be you'll get this when I'm going to be in Vegas all this week. Yes, I'm in Vegas. I will be at the LA Comedy Club in the Stratosphere. I love going out there.
Love it.
Just 40 minutes of me spitting at people.
Oh, they're going to love you.
They do love it.
They do love it.
And Matt Joaquim are wonderful people. I make them nervous, though. I make them very fucking nervous.
Because everybody else in the lineup they have all year is like a normal person with a suit and like a really, so that they relate to the Midwest, and yours is terrifying.
It's like that ethnic comedy, that really fun, like I Love Ice Cream comedy that's fucking just sweeping the nation right now.
Yeah, they love it.
Hey, man, I'm Mexican. Mexican women do this. Am I right? What's up with Mexican dogs? And everyone's like, oh, my God, it's Mexican dogs. Joining us, this is like a returning champion show. We just have nothing but returning champions on the show. Live from his headlining gig at Flappers in Burbank. He just got off tour with Doug Stanhope. He was on the Swapcast with Doug Stanhope, and yeah, you were?
Oh, yeah. Oh, with Bert?
No, with me. You were with me in Syracuse.
No.
Yes. Andy, you were. It was. Remember, we did it at the hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Andy Andrist, everybody.
How much of your day is like that, by the way?
I knew. Yeah. You seem familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. And I'm fucking. Yeah. I was doing a bit of drinking in those days.
Those days, way back in those days. No, I don't think you were drinking there. Wink, wink, because you're not allowed to drink. If I was correct.
Right. That's true. Yeah. I signed a pledge.
Not to drink anymore.
Not to drink for a year.
Oh, well, maybe that's on camera.
Yeah. Well, this is water.
That is water. I'm glad you're drinking water.
I'm Dean Martin in the whole thing.
That's so great. Can you hear him all right? Okay, cool. So, Andy, so what is it like to go on tour with Stanhope? I love him to death. I've known him for over 20 years, and it just seems like you just got to go for it.
Yeah, I tend to. I know how the evening starts, but then I turn into like blackout drunk. And like Stanhope, I don't know that he probably blackout drinks a little, but I never know what the fuck happened. I just wake up and then I get the highlights or whatever. And I've never met blackout drunk me, but he sounds great. It would be a lot of fun. I think we'd get along great, but then there'd be two of us.
Stanhope is one of those guys, and I have a couple friends of those, like Bert Kreischer's one, and then these people, my friend Rex Frettenberg from Cortland, New York, is like that. They can drink.
Superior genetics.
They just can drink, and they wake up tomorrow, do it again, like nothing fucking happened. I am a scorched the earth motherfucker. I drink, I do blow, and I just foobar anything in my fucking life, dude. It really is a superpower to be able to drink like that and just not be like, fuck it, dude. Tomorrow we'll do it again. I just can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
I was fortunate I never had hangovers, so I could just keep going and keep going.
But do you drink?
No, I stopped like 15 months ago.
Hold on, so you never had hangovers,
Never.
but then you stopped drinking?
Yeah, it just happened. One Sunday I woke up and it was gone.
Do you like to smoke weed?
Yeah, every day.
Every day you smoke weed.
So I'm LA sober.
I respect that.
That's what that is.
Marijuana maintenance?
Yes.
Someone was telling me the other day that they've heard of cocaine maintenance, where you just do a little coke, but you don't do anything else.
I can do blow and not drink.
I used to do
if
that
it's here,
too.
I would do it. Yeah, and that's fine.
But the problem is the blow is not good anymore.
Well,
in LA, it's not. If you get that good shit, go for it. Okay. I have this weird thing, and Ryan and I talk about it all the time. I have my own sobriety, and I think drugs are only something that you're willing to suck dick for. That is my theory. If you're willing to suck dick for, it's a drug. If you won't suck dick for, it's not a drug. And that is my theory about shrooms and DMT. Nobody's sucking dick for the spirit molecule.
I never thought rent was a drug, but I've changed.
Yeah. Is $1 million a drug? Who's got $1 million?
$1 million is a drug.
Huh? All right.
Yeah.
What if you just like
changes a person,
sucking dick though? Then you go, well, fuck that. Yeah, heroin's like sucking dick to me.
You're just catching up because you didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, we're in West Hollywood. It's a perfect place to do it.
Yeah. So let's get into this, man. So I saw that Andy is going to be in town. So I hit him up to ask if he wanted to come on the podcast. He said he would. And I go, what conspiracies are you into? And without a doubt, you hit me back and said, Jonbenet Ramsey.
Yeah. So, like most of them, they're too overwhelming. But the Jonbenet one, I dove into at the beginning, and
But not only did you say that you are you'd like to talk about it, you literally said I'm an expert in it.
well, I woke up outside of the house a few times. If that makes me an expert.
You woke up outside of Jonbenet Ramsey's house.
My daughter was going to school there, and she didn't give me her address, so I GPS. I've been to the first legal joint I smoked was outside of the Ramsey house. I was like, what do? I got legal weed. Where's Johnny live?
Is that house still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's a little, it's fenced now. But the beauty of it, though, the morning I woke up there, I was like, that moment of where am I? I slept in the car, and I'm at the Ramsey house, and it's a nice neighborhood. And then I thought, I think I left a pipe here. The last time I was in town, I had to fly out, so I had a pipe, and then I searched the fence line and by this rock, and like that, and there it was. It was still there, like 6 months later.
You went back again,
right?
So you're a repeat customer.
Well, it's a comfortable neighborhood to sleep in your car in. So, I woke up. It was like 9 a.m, and I'm thinking, oh, good, the weed stores will be open in an hour. But then I was searching the fence line for my pipe, and then I forgot that I'd wrapped it in cellophane and had a full bowl in there. So, yeah, I kind of communed with John.
Was the weed still good?
Yeah, it was excellent. And, it's a great place if you're in Boulder to get high at, just to ponder what could happen.
Damn.
I was in Denver, and I told somebody like, oh yeah, I woke up, just the basics of that, and he was going to give me weed, and then he goes, fuck you. I was like, what? Because I woke up outside of Jonbenet Ramsey's house? Fuck you too. I didn't want your weed anyway.
That's
Well,
better
you got
than
him mad?
Yeah, it's better than waking up inside the house, right?
Right. Again?
Just like Iron Man did. What's his face? Who's Iron Man?
Oh, you talking about Mr. Jr.?
Yeah. What's his name?
RDJ? Robert Downey?
Robert Downey Jr. waking up in that kid's house, like in bed, in the kid's bed with a blanket. Fucking the parents like, what the fuck are you doing in our kid's room? Right?
That's like Rip Torn drunk, right?
Yeah.
Where you break into the bank thinking it's your house.
I think, but he was doing like meth and shit like
Right.
that. You haven't gone hard till you smoked a little meth and
Yeah.
tried to fucking suck your own dick. That's an old proverb.
It's called yoga.
Sitting
So let's
dog.
get into, since you have some theories about who it is, real quick. Let's get into some your thoughts on Jonbenet Ramsey, real quick.
I mean, obviously, still dead or really well done. I'm gonna start
Is
with
she?
that.
Is she?
Who knows?
Is she?
Who knows? Nothing. We cannot be certain about any of this. We were not there. We do not know the motives. We do not know the motives of the parents or the piss poor way that the case was handled from beginning to end. Okay, it's like Sandy Hook. I want pictures. I want files. I want to see forensic evidence.
Well,
and
you know
until
something?
then, I don't know.
You think everybody who's trying to solve murders are like PhDs in murders, and they're just they got promoted. You know,
That's
they
all it
showed
is.
a little
Yeah.
And there's some idiot fucking homicide detectives out there that have no fucking clue what they're doing, unless it's like put on their laps. Good luck.
I mean, and what is the crime happening in Boulder, anyways?
Yeah, that's another thing, dude. It's like there's a murder in a town. You're like, fuck, man, we're a sleepy little town. We're rich white people.
Right.
This does not happen.
Right.
This does not fucking happen, right? So let's get into some specifics. Jonbenet Ramsey died on December 25th or 26th, I don't know, in 1996. She was 6 years old. Why don't you go through it, Ryan?
Yeah, the cause of death was head trauma and strangulation. It was the day after Christmas, and John, her father, and Patsy found a ransom note on the stairs.
Right? And it's so funny because, we went through, we watched a bunch of YouTube videos, get some information. And the funniest part of these things are the reenactments of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because those were hired actors. Somebody auditioned to pay Fancy Benet and act like she just found a ransom note of her strangled daughter downstairs. Yeah. It's like so fucking funny. Like anytime you see like a weird kind of like billboard, that's an actor acting that out. And even if it's like, how much money do you have to get to do like a herpes commercial?
I'm waiting.
I would love to know if someone did some research of how many people in herpes commercials ever went on to do anything else.
No, because you're stained.
Or even suck another dick.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, I saw you on that commercial. Get off that cock.
Well, how about that chick who, there's a guy named Chris Humphries who was fucking one of the Kardashians, and they broke up, and he hooked up with this chick, and she ran to the TMZ and said, he gave me herpes, and I'm suing him. They tested him for herpes. He didn't have herpes. So this chick already had herpes and was blaming him fucking for it. And it's like now everybody knows you has herpes. Plus that fat chick who banged fucking Usher. Did you see that fucking whale?
No.
Like, dude. Do you remember that chick? Did you ever see that?
I haven't had a black chick, but I like them big, so it's all
I like
good.
big chicks too, but this is fucking a mountain of black pussy, dog. A Mount Everest of black pussy. Usher hit it, and she said that he gave her herpes, dude. Now it's like now everyone knows you're fat black and got herpes.
Yeah.
That's a bad place to be. Okay, keep moving. Next up, Ryan.
All right, but so the thing about the note is the note was 3 pages long. It's a
The
pretty
note
long.
was
That's a
3
lot.
pages long.
You start lying, you start adding facts in.
Yeah.
That's
but
how that's it.
It's like a book report right there. And the weird thing about that is that the actual stationery was from the house. So what? Things just don't add up to begin with.
It just makes
It stinks.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Thoughts, Andy?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's like, who's going to write a ransom note that's beyond, like, just the specifics? Like, you don't fucking wax on.
Yeah. If you're going to write a ransom note, you're going to cut out little letters out of
Yeah.
newspapers.
Oh, yeah, those are the best.
Oh, I just thought about that.
You got to ramp up to do the crime, and that the note is your own ramp up to go do it. You don't all of a sudden do it and then
That's how
figure
you
out
get psyched
ooh.
for the game.
And you should
Right.
have some, like, a set list together before you do the big ransom, like bullet points or something. something. So, yeah, Patsy.
And the amount of money they asked for was $118,000, which is a very, very specific number considering that was the exact number of the dad's bonus that year.
That's dead ball. Hold real quick before we get into that. I just realized with the death of newspaper and print, ransom notes are going to be a lot harder to fucking do.
Right.
Right? It's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
You can't. You're going to have to print out everything and then cut it out. And then you can't just go grab a magazine anymore.
You're saying they're going to be editing Snapchats over the top of other Snapchats to come up with some other final video that finally tells you why you did this?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm in.
It's just the death of print is the death of ransom notes
Well, yeah.
as well.
And 118 grand, that's 2 years of property taxes in Boulder. So that's pretty much how that works.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, so it's like very specific to his
bonus.
his bonus, which
Yeah.
he works for Lockheed Martin, which is, I don't know if you know anything about the military industrial complex. They're one of like 6 companies that run everything. He's dealing with some very fucking powerful motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like some dark shit.
That's who's been wiring the ice house to figure out they're going to be listening to us and watching us on the 10th.
Shout out all the NSA, shout out all the CIA, FBI for
Are we being
fucking
taped here?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, fuck.
100%, 100%.
Are you feeling suicidal right now?
Not yet. No.
This
I
is
mean,
where-
oddly, no.
Oddly, for the first time all night? Mm-hmm. You kind of feel like you're at your
Well,
place.
Burbank Flappers gave me the will to live.
How many people were at Burbank?
There was roughly 25 people in that room.
That club should be so much bigger.
Yeah.
So much better. You know what ruined that club? Was when the owner said it had to be clean comedy.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. There's only one room in the world that should be clean comedy, and that is the Comedy Magic Club.
Yeah.
In Hermosa Beach. That's it. It's like this weird kind of place. It just works. People go there for that. Everything else is like blow a horse on stage, whatever it takes to get people to fucking listen,
Well,
right?
yeah. There's already a couch here.
Yeah.
Well, Flappers sounds like a grandma strip club anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, the name alone does not...
Grandma's next up.
Well, there were,
Earl.
and I think Grandma was there. She was front and center to see some other person.
So how much time did you do?
I did 30.
30. That's great.
Yeah, I was watching the clock. I was like, I'm at 20. I got lighted, and I said, "Is that the 1 minute light?" And she goes, 5. I got fucking nothing here. I'm done. I did.
So how'd it go?
It went well enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's behind me now.
Do you think Batman ever says that? Went well enough. we lost a couple guys. At the end of the day.
You know what? We did our best. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did what I was. I said words, and the time went away.
Oh.
So
At the end of that.
and then people weren't mad.
What was your big closer?
I think I told this. I think it comes back to Jonbenet, to a degree.
You can run it again by Dr. Dre upstairs. That's,
I did. It's just like it's a fun piece about Jesus and God, and then I muddle it with Jonbenet Ramsey because it is
nice.
kind of the same story.
Jonbenet and
They
Jesus
rolled a rock.
Christ.
Well, they were both crucified while their fathers looked the other way.
Okay.
To a degree.
And we're definitely
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
What are you doing?
We'll get into that. Also, dude, let's not forget that Jesus was a shapeshifter from
Wait a
new
minute.
text that just came out, found from over 12,100 years ago. Jesus Christ was a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
First of all, when you achieve that level of wokeness like he did, you're able to just become the fabric of reality because you were made in God's image and God is light. And that's all this is. It's just different forms of energy.
You're saying we're just Christmas lights blinking?
I mean, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Are you saying that Jesus disguised himself as a cabinet?
Do I-
He was a carpenter, so he could have shape-shifted and been...
Technically, his heart is the tabernacle
you-
that we all enter heaven through.
Are you telling me he's both of the Wonder Twins?
Yes.
He just does this with himself. Wonder Twins form of...
Whatever you
Form
need.
of a beam, form of another beam going across the top of that one.
You have to think of if somebody, a supreme being, would act in a supreme way, and you can't
form
limit
of
it.
extra closet space. All right, go on.
All right. So
Don't get me excommunicated off this podcast.
Oh, dude,
You're already
I'm
gone,
getting.
bro.
Jesus was into pegging, right?
That's
you
well.
know that.
That makes
You
two-
know they ran a train on Mary Magdalene.
That's
There's
Mary
no...
Magdalene. That's
What's her name?
Mary Magdalene.
Whatever.
Is
Mary
that the
Magdalene
mother
Bay?
of the horror friend?
That was a
Dear
horror friend.
Yeah.
The whore.
I wanted to, why didn't they write more about her?
I'm sure those were some of the texts they threw out.
Yeah.
That and the alien
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Mary,
they
Mary
probably
does.
through out Bethlehem DP's
Yeah.
Action 5. You
Yeah.
know, they threw that DVD out.
Mary does Bethlehem.
And to get
Did we
into,
lose John? Told John
No,
you
I'm
were
fine.
religious,
No,
man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were. I forgot
You
you.
were this
I forgot your.
religious, dude. The guy with the Slayer shirt on's getting uncomfortable with Jesus jokes.
No, I'm saying look, everyone is on their own spectrum of faith. And I'm just saying that as a person who believes and has had experiences, you guys are cool.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to be judgmental? What am I
No,
supposed
not
to
at
be?
all.
No, come on.
We have a manger scene. I'm not bragging, but we have a manger scene we put up at the holidays, and every year it's my tradition is to put in some of the other things. But I did have like aliens and Bigfoot. Bigfoot was at the manger too.
I have a year-round major scene in my house, and surrounded as Buddhas holding stuff up for the birth.
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah,
They all
Big
work
time.
together.
like a Peter Gabriel on the boombox.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go on.
well, let's get into it. So, we're just 4 degrees of like twisted individuals talking about a twisted crime that happened in a basement, and we're in a basement, so I figure this all goes good, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what we're all about, homeboy.
Well, one of the main details, which is pretty interesting, is that she had
Well, there's a couple. Let's get into who the suspects are and why there's evidence for them.
like in all crimes of passion
And then we'll
murder.
get Andy's
Yeah,
take
yeah.
on because he says he thinks he knows.
I
who
saw-
did it.
I know
oh,
who-
Don't
yeah.
say it. Don't
Oh,
say
yeah.
it. Wait to the end. That's called the big payoff.
So her
This is
father's
podcast.
name.
Oh,
thing,
it was
okay.
you should have helped me at my Burbank set because the big payoff was kind of where I got fucked.
There was 3 people in the house besides her that night, and it was her father John, her mother Patsy, and then her brother. What is it?
Burke,
Burke. There you go.
Burke,
little Burke.
creepy ass Burke,
Yeah.
Yeah.
autistic Burke.
Hard case sound. Guilty.
So one of the things that's weird about her is they found undigested pineapple in her stomach,
In her stomach, dude.
The smoking gun.
and upstairs in the kitchen was a bowl of pineapples, and the only fingerprints on it was her mom's fingerprints.
So she was poisoned.
No.
No.
This
That
is
means
like
her
Clue.
mom at some point had been feeding her, and within a very close amount of time, she went from eating that pineapples to being killed.
I guess the mom wanted her cum to taste different.
Oh Jesus!
What?
Whoa, I'm religious,
No,
motherfucker.
No, you guys just ruined it.
How did this guy go from being
Wow.
offended about trains on the fucking chick hanging out with Jesus, talking about come on pineapple?
You just kicked Jesus to the curb and went all fucking vicious.
Yeah, it's
Man.
so weird, man.
You're
Pick
never.
a lane, stay in it. We are who we are. You can't both sides. You can't be a holy roller and a scumbag, bro. I guess you can. Go on.
All right. So then another detail is, we're not making light of this, but it is what it is. It's a 20-year-old case. It's still unsolved. So maybe we'll solve it tonight with all this info. If you guys have any
We're going to.
information.
Andy's about to solve it for everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
So, this is more of one of the darker details, but Jonbenet genitals showed signs of sexual assault, and the way they described it, it appeared to be over years.
Yes. Yeah. 100. The parents are fucking shady as shit. Like she'd been sexually assaulted. Her vagina looked like it had been active. Okay. Totally disgusting.
Well, that's how you win those beauty contests, you know. You got to sway the judges a little. It's just like it's a bringer show. It's a bringer show.
What did she say? Light me up at 5?
We're just going to turn the comment section off on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is not getting
Yeah.
comments.
It's not easy being a crime fighter.
Don't
I don't even know what they...
don't even use your Cheeto-covered fingers. We understand what's going on here tonight.
Well, another thing about her dad was very interesting is that he booked a flight out of town 2 hours after she was after they discovered her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he booked a flight to leave town 2 hours after.
He's such a Gene Hackman looking motherfucker.
Right?
Like,
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so is there a theory out there that at some level the parents are involved with some other group of people that would have access to
We're
the
going
house?
to get into that. We're going to get into that, okay?
'Cause that's where I'm going, because I don't know anything about this case, so that's it.
Now, here's another thing. Go on, dude. There's some crazy ass shit. Like the brother was the brother. There's something about this brother. Wouldn't
How
you
old
agree?
was the brother at the time of the murder?
He was 11 and she was 9. Is that right?
11?
No, she was
6.
6.
So he was 9.
He was 9.
Okay.
Yeah, and-
6'9". Hey,
Hey, 69.
it's all in the family.
Yeah, there's a lot of like stories and that he was violent with her. So she has head trauma, but she also has strangulation. So it's kind of maybe it was a family affair. It seems that maybe the head trauma was from the violent brother, and then the strangulation was to cover over the act of the actual death.
And what they found were train tracks, toy train tracks, in the basement. Now, Jonbenet had 2 marks on her, which could be a vampire, but there were 2 marks like that right there on her neck. And when they took the train tracks and they put it up to the neck, and you can actually see this, there's pictures of it, it fits perfectly.
Yeah, at first they thought it was a taser
Yeah.
or something, but it was just a Christmas. I hate Christmas. It's
Christmas.
so much pressure.
You've never tried to jump one of your relatives with a train around the holidays? You never just try to do that?
We didn't get many gifts.
It was just Christmas. Jesus Christ.
Do you think your parents were just really into the Aristocrats?
No, don't, dude. There's something there. We'll get into that, but here's where the creepiest shit gets, and then we'll get your thoughts on this. One of the creepiest things is the Santa Claus.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this happened the day after Christmas. And she was visited, or their family was visited for years by a man named Bill McReynolds. And he would come to the house as a tradition, and he was dressed like Santa Claus. And he gave Jonbenet a card that said, "You will receive a special gift after Christmas."
The day after Christmas, it said.
Total consciousness.
Yeah.
Knowing that was a threat to the father, because the father would read it and knew that someone was coming.
Well, what's really weird about fucking Santa Claus here,
This is creepy as shit, dude.
his own daughter disappeared 22 years before. And
No, not only 22 years before, also the day after Christmas.
and it doesn't end there.
What did his daughter look like?
I imagine white. It's Denver. Probably not too many
Yeah,
Haitians.
it's Santa Claus. The guy looks like Santa Claus. It's not Mexican Santa Claus. Hey, puto. Hey, after Christmas, you're going to get a special gift.
And this guy, fucking Santa Claus, wrote a play.
Listen to this.
About
What?
Santa Claus wrote a play, Bill McReynolds, about a girl who gets abducted and sexually abused in a basement and killed. He wrote
on.
this before giving the
No,
note.
didn't just write a story.
What?
Wrote a play.
Yeah.
Wrote a play. A play, dude.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for fucking goodness sakes, because the guy might fucking kill you.
Interior crime scene.
Yeah.
Christmas lights blink over the body.
Cut to.
Yeah. What the fuck, right?
Piping up.
Yeah, the Santa thing, that bothered me a lot, because like,
Can I be honest, though? Who writes plays?
That's
you,
exactly what it sounds.
well, he wasn't exactly in L.A. He was in Boulder.
Yeah.
He thought maybe this would be his thing. He'd be a.
But of all the things you can write about, why would you write about that?
Sure.
Like, it's so fucking creepy, dude. And it's not, I'm not laughing, but I am. It's just like, if someone goes, "Hey, dude, I'm writing this play most time. I think I got a part for you." You're like, "Oh, cool. What is it?" It's about this dude who kidnaps a chick, fucks her in the fucking basement, and then and kills her. And like, and what role do I play? You play Milkman.
He's just be an elf. I'm I'm kind of the lead in this. It's my thing, man.
Now, if you're casting this, do you go with a young girl or do you go with a midget?
Maybe Santa did it because he was gay and he used Jonbenet as his beard. Is that a possibility?
At this point, and let's go to the ones and twos. DJ Buddy, that says it all right there.
It's hard to make a Filipino
He's
blush.
he's a fucking denier.
Why are you
Jonbenet denier. She was real.
Yeah, so there was DNA that was found at the scene of the crime. It was like in her underwear, and it doesn't match anyone in the family.
Now, here's my thing. But who have they matched that DNA to? And I'm going to say something. I think that means it's an older person. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're younger, can we be honest? How many people here have ever been arrested? How many
Arrested?
people arrested?
Yeah,
I've been
multiple.
detained.
Yeah,
Does that count?
Did
yeah.
you go to jail?
No.
You didn't go to jail?
No, look at me.
Most of the time when you go to jail, they will swap your mouth and they do that to get your DNA. So I'm thinking that this guy is completely off the grid. If they don't have your DNA, if you're a young person, they're swapping your DNA every 2 seconds. They can't, no matter where they are, you're waiting in line, they'll swap your DNA. They'll swap your DNA. So I think it's like got to be somebody older.
Okay.
Have you guys ever had your DNA swapped?
No.
Never.
No.
Not that I'm aware of, but probably.
You've never been to jail, Andy?
I've been when I was arrested. They didn't take me to the back because I wanted to go into the jail.
Why?
I like that I wanted to go
because
in.
I didn't get a
It's not like
headshot.
Disneyland.
Did you get
like
the
you
full
won a Super
experience?
Bowl.
I know, but I got handcuffed and all that other shit, and I wanted a cool fucking photo.
Okay.
You know, it's like gonna cost me $3,000, so I
Right.
better get a nice headshot. But I didn't get to go into the jail.
Would
Just
they
a
go,
drunk
oh,
tank.
you're white, we're going to let you go?
Well, yeah, something like that. You know.
Oh.
I was even wearing a hoodie when I got arrested.
We've
Like,
probably lost all of our black listeners from this show since I made fun of fat black chicks and you getting off from jail from getting handcuffed and not having to go. I mean, this show should be called White Privilege at this point.
Yeah, I burnt my white privilege card with the double arrest.
A double arrest?
Well, I got arrested I was just having trouble concentrating and driving for a bit.
Okay,
and,
what by a bit? What does that mean? Like how many blocks? A couple miles?
Well, no, I
Or
got
is this a time period?
Yeah, just like 2 months separated. My only 2 arrests. I got arrested it's like motherfuckers. The cops are like Uber now. It's like fucking get driven down close to my house, and then I got to walk a couple blocks.
The first time I was arrested was by bicycle cops the day after Christmas.
The same day Jonbenet got
Oh, small
Holy fuck.
world. Small
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, for possession of a class 1.
Did they swap
felon-
you?
Yeah, they did because it was
Okay.
a Schedule 1 felony drug charge for possession of LSD.
Oh.
How much LSD?
Yeah.
A single tab.
That's it?
One tab?
Why didn't you eat it before you got
Yeah,
arrested?
why didn't you throw it in your mouth?
How does that work?
I'm just bopping and jiving, walking down the street. I have like a suede.
Maybe
like,
that's why you got
marble-
arrested, because you were bopping and jiving.
Oh yeah, no, I was
again with the blacks.
And dude, you don't know how free you are until you're in a tiny little like 3x3 foot like cinder block cell.
Kind of like the studio.
Yeah, kind of like the studio, even half the size. And there's a cop on his knees, and he's saying, "Lift your penis, sir."
Oh,
and,
man.
Wow.
And I lift everything.
He's
and he
really
goes,
into free speech, huh?
just your penis. And that's what, like, I heard that echo in my brain, and it was like my origin story. I was like, fuck the world, fuck cops, like, let's watch this place burn.
So that's when you said no to the establishment?
Yeah,
when
that's
they
like
made
how
you
I-
lift your dick?
Yeah. It was, it was a-
So they don't want your balls up.
because they want to see if you like. Apparently, you've got a couple tabs like hidden between the scrotum and the shaft.
Yeah, that's a good place to hide drugs, actually.
Well, you got to have a hanger. I don't hang. My shit goes fucking like, and I go in the fight mode when I
Right.
get erected. I'm like, I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to shank a homeless guy who shit his pants.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna. I can't hide anything under there.
Every time I leave
I'm
the
like
house.
a Korean girl's tit.
Yeah.
She can't hide any money under there because he's no.
It depends
no
on
tits
it depends on the weather, because if it's warm, I could hide a lot of drugs on my scrotum. But if
Yeah.
it's cold, there's really not much surface area for an 8-ball or whatever.
You've never been
microdose.
arrested, John?
Never. No,
You
I've
ever
been
been
really
in trouble?
No, yeah, I've been in trouble, but I never just detained and then let go because I had a good story. That's it. We were shooting guns after 9/11 in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
And they
okay.
said, "Hell no, man, not now, not ever."
When the watch commander walked by us and we were all handcuffed and we had been shooting guns like at 3 a.m. for 45 minutes, he went to the owner of the house and he's like, "Man, we'll give you your guns back tomorrow, just like we did the last time."
So this is the day
out of
after
it.
the day after 9/11.
No, it was like a month after 9/11.
Were you guys like screaming Allah Akbar too?
No, it
Like,
was just the guy. He goes, you want to shoot guns in the Everglades? And we're like, fuck yeah, we want to shoot guns in the Everglades. And then we showed up, and he's like, you know how many guns he had? We all had a gun. There was 11 of us, and we were standing in his kitchen, and he had an AR-15, and he was launching AR-15 rounds out of the back of his kitchen. And then we stopped and looked back at us. He had that shitty look. It was like, dude, who lives over there? And he goes, oh, man, don't worry about them. They're just poor people.
Was this Theo Vaughn? It sounded a lot like Theo.
It's just
Vaughn.
some dude in Florida that we know.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, do you live in Boulder? Because this might solve everything.
So,
But no, I've never.
Jonbenet was
why
killed
would
by
you,
errant gunfire.
And by the way, regardless of getting arrested, why would you give your DNA away? Why every single commercial we have is 23andMe? Please give us all your DNA so when you die, we own every bit of you for the rest of eternity. You're going to be
sometimes,
cloned.
dude, listen, man.
Multi-layers of clones
You know what
that
you
are going to
remind me
jail,
of, dude? You remind me of guys who've never been in a fight, okay?
Fight?
No. Just hear me out. I know guys who've never been punched in the face, and they're for sure, like, if shit hit the fan, they'll fight everybody. Like, they'll just go Chuck Norris on motherfuckers. And it's like Mike Tyson used to say, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face, right? And, like, you know, you go, like, oh, why would you give away your DNA? When you're like, dude, when I got arrested, it's because I got busted buying drugs, man.
Yeah.
They were telling me, hey, man, you're going to get a fucking felony. We're going to hit you with a felony. And that I knew that I could never go to Canada, Australia, or China ever again to do stand-up. And I was like, fuck, man. My life is fucked. So they're like, hey, give us your fucking swab. Swab it up. So I'm like, dude, whatever you guys need, fucking You know, it's like...
That's
it's
one thing. I'm saying that idiot at home watching MSNBC going, oh, look at that commercial. Hey, Marge, let's send all our stuff away to some strangers. That's what I'm talking about.
But
Don't
who
do
does
that.
Is that it's the same
You don't
people.
see that? Dude, there's
How about-
commercials all over the television. They want it, dude.
I've never seen
Dude,
it.
Yeah, Ancestry.
Yeah, all that shit.
23andMe.
Dude, that's how you're going to get on airplanes. It's going to be facial recognition, and they're going to have you're going to have a chip in you.
And what about fucking... Well, they try to put chips in you, but your body rejects it.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. What about how about send us your gold? That was my favorite thing. Like, hey, dude,
We're gonna
just
weigh
send us your gold. Just throw it in this box and send it over here, and we're gonna send your money back. And
Yeah.
people are like, okay, and they threw. It's like the dumbest. I can't believe anybody would ever fucking do that. Send us your gold, and we'll send you something. They'll be like, where's my money, man?
You're already watching TV, so they assume that you have a less intellect than the average person.
That's my favorite thing about late, like 3 a.m. television. They think you're way more active than you are.
Right.
They just must think you're high on coke, not into porn, and you're just getting shit done.
Yeah, obviously you're into self-improvement. You're watching TV at 3 a.m.
Right? You know, it's a funny.
Married with Children marathon.
You know who wasn't watching TV at 3 a.m?
Yeah, well, she never got back to her room.
Andy, who do you think killed Jonbenet?
Okay, it's pretty. Like if I got a daughter, and if my wife killed my daughter, I'd fucking turn her in a second because I could start dating again, and I wouldn't have parental responsibilities, parental. So the only possibility is okay. So maybe Patsy killed her in a fit of rage. Patsy was wearing the same clothes the next morning, so there was some. Speculation that maybe Johnny wet her bed and mother freaked out, but the old man would have turned her in right away, and vice versa.
Think so? Do you think she would? Why?
Who loves their spouse that much to put up with that kind of shit? Like, you know, if my wife killed my cat, I'd turn her in because I love my cat, and I just so who would both parents cover for? Each other.
So your theory is that it was the mom.
No. My theory is Johnny was asleep, Little John, and that's what I call her, Little John, when I wake up outside the house. Johnny.
It's so creepy you have a name for her.
She was asleep when they got home. So how does she get pineapple and yogurt in her belly if she's asleep? So she fed both these little creeps like that same snack, John and Burke. So my theory is they put down a snack and the little fucking Burke, half a tard, was eating his snack, and then Jonbenet woke up and then pestered him, and they just happened to have a really big fucking flashlight that somebody gave him as a gift. He's on a high stool, and he had the leverage, so he was mad about that, and he cracked her in her fucking head. And then I don't know which one of the parents finished her off, but you know how it's wounded. Let's just kill the bird or whatever. It's wounded. So somebody strangled her while she was still. I don't think they knew she was alive. I think they thought she was dead from Burke's 1 in a million shot to the head. Like he was a little kid, so he had leverage and this heavy flashlight that was on the counter, and that's what I think. I think he bashed her head. And
I think we've shocked John.
I don't know anything about this because I was doing other stuff in the '90s. I was in a metal band, so we didn't hear anybody about this. So
Right.
This
Were you in a Christian
hand,
metal band? Because it sounds like you love Jesus.
I
a lot.
was. This was before when I was just in a regular.
love Jesus.
So yeah, so that's not even really heavy metal. That's just Jesus rock with more guitars. Don't fool yourself.
What's your thoughts, Ryan?
Fuck. I don't know. The Santa Claus sounds creepy as fuck to me, but I don't know. Like
they interviewed him and granted he had a knack for fiction.
Yeah.
But they researched that dude a lot, and if there would have been anything to it, he would have. I just don't. It seemed like the old man was like willing to scapegoat a bunch of neighbors and friends, like the people they were at the party. He was like, you might want to investigate them and stuff. Because he knew.
I think the parents are really fucking creepy. And I think some shit. I mean, when you buy a flight out 2 hours after your daughter dies, it makes me think something up. And the fact that he worked at Lockheed Martin, on this podcast, we've talked about some very powerful, very dark people. And I wouldn't, man, we're going to talk about this other case because it's somewhat similar to this, but I wouldn't doubt if some weird satanic Illuminati shit was going on. And I know
It's
it sounds
totally possible.
it's totally creepy.
It's totally. It's as possible as that, or they did. Was there any talk screen in any of the kids where they tried to like knock them out because they tried to go to a party late at night and didn't want the kids to wake up? Was anything like that?
No. I mean, nothing was like. I mean, from what we read, nothing said anything like that.
Okay.
But according to their story, she was asleep and was in bed, and then they found her in the stairwell. So how does she get the pineapple?
Well, I think
Satanists are notorious for denying snacks to children. That's their thing. They go, you want some crackers? You can't have them.
Maybe it's just like, hey, that's like if her vagina, this is very hard for me to say, had been active, okay? Maybe that's how they kind of, hey, have a little pineapple, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets into the weird shit. And it's very uncomfortable for me to talk about.
Is there any pineapple symbolism in occult or Illuminati lore?
I don't know. It's on pizza.
Oh, fuck.
Well, they must have had fruit trays at the meetings anyway.
Well, the big thing is Jonbenet's mom's DNA was on the spoon, and she says she doesn't remember feeding her. I just think there's something really creepy going on there with those parents, and that the kid does make sense in a weird way, but I just feel like there's such a cold-bloodedness that's got to be more than that.
There's just has to be. I don't know. I mean, because like when you get to that certain level of occult stuff, maybe they just got just the wrong group of people they were hanging with or something. I have no idea.
There's a whole, there's like this other famous story.
Allegedly. When do we throw that word in?
Yeah, we just did.
Burke allegedly murdered his sister with a heavy flashlight, and the folks went into damage control mode and panicked. Patsy didn't change clothes, so the next morning she's up acting like everything's fine, and she's wearing the same clothes, and she was
as the day before.
Yeah,
people are like, why are you in the
they
same
went to a
clothes?
Christmas party, and then she was wearing the same clothes in the morning. And they invited people over, like, John's missing. Come on over. We're having brunch or whatever.
That's true. And then the dad finds the kid downstairs.
Yeah.
And brings the kid upstairs. So now you're moving the kid out of the
crime scene.
The crime scene.
Oh,
and the whole thing, like, the thing wrapped around her neck, and it just seems like it was all staged to look like, something.
Maybe. I mean, like at that age, 9 years old, you could still see signs of psychopaths and stuff like that. That's definitely possible too, man. That's definitely fucking possible.
Yeah, because all that stuff is in you from the beginning that you're born. It's already in your DNA.
And what makes sense about Burke is that if the parents are covering up, why are they stonewalling the investigation?
Right. They don't show up for interviews, and they got separate lawyers, I think.
It was simpler times, 1996. I mean, this is when cops still messed up, crime scenes. It's when Friends was still on the air. Hootie and Blowfish was rocking the charts. I mean, like, it was a different time.
Wait, they're not still?
Remember when a black guy rocked rock and roll and we were all like, hey, man, if he can do that, we can all do it.
I can't believe you called Hootie and the Blowfish rock and roll, and I can't be in a Christian metal band. You got a lot of nerve.
We didn't know that that Hootie and the Blowfish would break up and he would become a solo country star back then.
Dude, that's where everybody goes. When your music career goes to shit, you go to country. Mm-hmm. Now, Taylor Swift went the other way. She went country to pop. But then you look at Kid Rock, John Bon Jovi, Hootie and the Blowfish. They all went to country because country will never not forgive you. They'll always bring you back. They just love it because they love anyone who cool that will sing to them. That's really what it is, right? They're just like, fuck, man, is that Kid Rock at the county fair? We love you, right?
You got my vote, kid.
Yeah, dude, how crazy is that kid's that he's gonna fucking run?
I back the dude.
Why?
Because he's entertaining, and he doesn't care, and
Trump's-
you can't touch him, and he has FU money.
Bomb dicka bomb de bonka boom.
Black drummer.
You want the guy from Straight Out the Trailer?
Yeah, I don't care. It's over. We're devolving as a country anyways.
yeah,
Our leaders should be devolving along with us.
I've
There's
said
nobody
that
else
on
that's
stage.
coming. There's
I'm
nobody
like-
else that's coming. Nobody don't trust anybody who's a politician. By the very fact that you are a politician means that you lie from the get-go. We want to be entertained. We want to be whatever this shit's going on right now. We need somebody who can be in the spotlight as much as we need.
I don't want a president that got his ass kicked by Tommy Lee. You know? I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, that guy beat your ass? Fuck
Who
you.
beat up who? Kid Rock?
I think Tommy Lee slapped around Kid Rock.
Oh, because they both banging Pamela Anderson,
They
right?
both had big dicks, and I don't know.
You know, I feel bad for
Don't you want a president with a big dick?
Julian Assange. Like, he's stuck in a fucking box, and the only person who comes see him is Pamela Anderson,
Right.
And her fucking used car pussy, right?
Yeah.
That shit's got so much mileage on it, and it's the only. It's like, dude, if you're stuck in fucking the desert and the only thing there is McDonald's, you are so thankful for fucking Big Macs. And that's all he's getting is fucking beat up Big Macs all the fucking time.
Did Salman Rushdie have somebody come give him herpes too when he was in hiding?
Yeah, right? Remember he
Yeah.
was hiding from the fucking Iran and they were like, we're going to kill you.
Pamela Anderson shows
But you still
up,
believe that Assange is still alive? That he's not a clone?
Hold on. You think he's a clone?
I absolutely believe that Assange is a clone, and he has not been alive since like September of last year, allegedly.
How did they get the clone up and running?
Yeah,
so
how did-
quickly?
They've been working on cloning for like 50 years at least.
But how would they know to clone him to be?
Because
And how would they-
they had
Okay.
the idea before they got this guy ready to put him out on an international stage so he can slow leak all of the slow disclosure stuff so you can get to believe that you can have this one individual person that you can go believe, and then you're believing that means that you're all together to take down the very state when the dude is a state-run entity that used to be a real guy, and now they were like, this isn't going to work out, so we need somebody with a little more controllable. Boom. They get him out of the clone factory.
Did they just swab fucking Pamela Anderson's used
That's all
car
it takes,
snatch
dude.
for the DNA?
That's it.
I
Think
should've
about,
smoked.
dude. We're in a world where Dennis Rodman has a word in things, and Pamela Anderson has a word in things. It's over. Why?
I'm with you, dude.
Okay, I'm
I'm
just
totally
saying.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm totally with you.
It's goofy.
The
How
whole
does this
point of
bring Jonbenet back?
Yeah, why don't they just
Can we
clone
clone-
her?
Yeah.
Forgiveness.
Why don't they clone
Holy
her,
cow.
John? Why don't they clone her?
What do you think the 118
they
grand
could
was
sell.
for?
They could sell Jonbenet like clone weed plants.
Yes.
Everybody gets a little Jonbenet starter,
Yeah.
and whatever you want to do with it, that's your
Root.
business.
Now the reason we brought up the kind of the Illuminati on that thing, there was all this talk that there's some darkness going on there. I do like that, your thought that it's the brother, but there's also a very famous case that was very big in Europe. It was like their version of Europe.
Yeah, so 3-year-old Madeline McCann.
Have you heard of this story?
Only in
Only in the last 5 seconds?
No, I've only read about it on the on that Reddit subreddit that I'm banned from.
Okay.
She disappeared on the evening of May 3rd, 2007. from her bed in a resort in Portugal. And since then, her whereabouts are unknown.
So she could be Jonbenet.
She could be. They could be hanging out doing
Holy
weird ass
fuck.
shit. You know?
So Madeline was on vacation from the UK with her parents, Kate and Jerry, and she has two-year-old twin siblings. And they were there with a group of friends and families and their children. She and the twins had been left to sleep at 8:30 in the ground floor apartment, and the McCanns went with their friends and dined in a restaurant 180 feet away. And they were coming back to check up on the kids every so often. And the mom goes to check up on the children around 10 p.m., and that's when they discover that Madeline's missing. All right. And so one of the very interesting things is around that time, someone on the resort saw a man, 2 men to be exact.
Yes, this is very creepy. But before we get into this, she has a very unique genetic condition. Something about her eye, and like there's a hole in her eye, and it's like this very unique thing that for some reason like is some weird kind of like.
So if you have it, then you're a.
It's like voodoo shit for like the dark forces. Like
that's how they know which kid to send to Mars to be on the base.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like
I'm
that.
with you.
Something like that, dude. So it's like she has a unique condition that's very like that you can't find that often. That makes her very valuable.
Right.
Over the following weeks, after misinterpreting a British DNA analysis, the Portuguese police came to believe that Madeline had died in an accident in the apartment and that her parents were covering it up. The McCanns were given a suspect status in September of 2007, which was lifted by July 2008 because of lack of evidence.
And the weirdest, now I cut you off on something real quick. Do you want to get into the people that were around there?
So yeah, what was interesting is around that time frame when she was gone missing, they saw 2 gentlemen. One was carrying a girl that looked like it was like maybe like a father carrying her sleeping daughter in her arms. And so eyewitnesses helped describe what these people looked like, these 2 gentlemen. And even though we don't have any video footage of it up here, they resemble brothers. And these brothers have since come into limelight in our political system. And they're the Podesta brothers.
They look exactly like
John Podesta.
John and Tony
And
Podesta.
obviously, the Podesta brothers would be able to tell you where they were on that day, and have they?
Yeah. But here's the biggest thing about this and why we get back to the Illuminati and shit. The parents have fucking stonewalled this whole investigation. They won't help at all. They won't show up at all. They won't do anything at all. And they won't fucking work with any kind of police officers. How fucking crazy is that, dude?
Then they must have got to him. That's how that goes down, right? Somebody you want to achieve some level. This is the door you got to walk through to get in. And then you don't realize that this thing that you're going to accept to do is going to just ruin your life. And you're like, well, now I'm all the way in. You got to do it.
Do you believe in pedogate at all?
I don't know. I think anytime they throw the word gate on the end of anything, it's just to keep people yelling at each other on the internet.
Do you believe in anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look. Obviously, are there sex crimes? Obviously, there's sex crimes. Is there murder? Yes, there's murder. Is there people who want to extort money out of other people? Are there people at high levels of power that are willing to do things to either get more power? Yes, all of that is true. But as far as anytime you get a bunch of autistic people on the internet that are trying to solve crimes, that's really what that's for. And all of that is just data mining, because you're basically just trying to figure out what these people are really doing. And that's what they're doing on the internet. I mean, it's all of this stuff.
Do you find
it's a honeypot. For me, I think all that stuff, as soon as it becomes like, all of a sudden, like, because it happened on Reddit, all of a sudden it's like you didn't hear it. Everything was like 9/11, aliens, shapeshifters, all that kind of weird stuff. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, in the middle of this election, it was like, but what about this crazy body farming experiment, all this blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's out there.
Well, my opinion is...
Because everybody wants to have such a little simple thing.
This September 23rd thing...
I told you it was a nothing.
...was meant to discredit conspiracy theories.
Right.
To make conspiracy theorists look stupid.
Oh, the end of the world.
Yeah,
All of it.
So
But-
everyone's like, "Oh, you probably thought the world was going to come to an end too," and that's all. That's what all that.
But it's
was.
to undermine. It's to undermine the very word conspiracy, to conspire. The fact that two people might come together. We conspired to do this podcast. The four of us came together and said we're going to do this podcast. There was a conspiracy at foot. Not everybody has the same amount of information, and here we are, all doing this podcast. So the very fact that they want to demonize that word, they want to demonize any alternative stream of information. It's all that is, because in the end, all they need to do, and you can see it what they're doing with the president right now, is if I can label you crazy, I can label you unhinged, I can say you're saying something that is not considered normal. Hence, because you're not normal, now I can put you in another box. And that box can be controlled. So they're going to go crazy,
I think
conspiracy.
the whole thing with conspiracy. I think this whole thing about him calling those players son of a bitches.
He didn't.
What did he call them?
He didn't say it. He said, this is what he said. I bet there are people here who would like to.
Would like to call them son of a bitches.
Yes, he put it all in the audience. He didn't say it. He said there are people here that would love
but
these
that's-
owners to
that's-
say that.
That's fucking.
And it doesn't matter. Here's the problem. It doesn't matter.
Legalese bullshit.
Okay, well,
dog.
I'm sorry. That's really what it comes down to is
Yeah, but that's
legalese.
legalese bullshit.
I'm not defending the guy. I'm just saying.
You are though.
But what I'm saying
You
is,
are defending him.
What I'm saying is,
You're totally defending.
no.
him.
What I'm saying is,
Some people
is
would
that-
call you a son of a bitch for that, but not me. But others would.
All I'm saying is that
I bet
that
you people
every,
in the fucking control room probably think you're a son of a
I'm
bitch
not.
right now.
Look, all I'm saying is that all of this division stuff in society is based on class and race and all of these little micro things that they can keep people divided, because it only takes 3% of the world population to decide on something for it to be a reality. And if that 3% of the people decided, we're just not going to do the military-industrial complex anymore. We're going to be peaceful. We're going to enjoy our lives. We're going to encounter none of this vitriol and racism and all this garbage that we see online, because I don't see it when I go to Ralph's or Vaughn's. I don't see it.
I completely agree.
It's not, but all of this, it's divisive. And what
It's
we're doing
done on
is
purpose.
It's all done on purpose. And so what we're doing is we're co-opting the language, and then what we're doing is now every single stupid, every article is obliterated, destroy, fail, all this stuff, because these words have power. Because the more you can front load words that are showing up in the lexicon of society as we become the AI-controlled machine learning things, that's what we're doing right now. And that's what all of this, it's hysteria. All of this, whether it's
Couldn't agree
Pizzagate,
more.
it's whether it's
I
people
disagree
kneeling.
with you on pedogate. I disagree with that.
I just looked like
You
I said
sit-
as soon as I saw gate on it, I said that's a nothing. It's
I get
a
it,
nothing.
but that's what they do, and maybe they do that on purpose. They did Pizzagate to get you to fucking laugh. Oh, they're banging kids in a pizza shop. Nope, that's not what it was. But then they give you an out on not to agree with it, and the gate is that thing, dude. Iceland right now, England,
I love
Australia, Iceland, all have had giant pedophile fucking cases throughout the government, where the government almost collapsed. Iceland right now is collapsing right now because half their government has been busted doing not half the some huge names in their government got busted doing pedophile, and they were gonna get off. They were gonna be dismissed, and the whole country's going crazy. Australia, same thing. England, giant fucking pedophile problem in their government. It was busted, got swept under.
But is that a 12,000 year problem that's been going on since the ancients?
It's been going on for, I don't know if 12,000, but it's been going on for a long time because it's initiation. Dog.
Or are we in a society that's been so overtly sexualized in everything we do in every part of the media that comes at us that this is just an eventual outcome of the outrage of the society that we
dude.
find?
It's
So
initiation.
Is that
Remember
the thing?
the Iceman, dude? You ever heard the Iceman? The assassin talks about how a mob boss goes,
Right.
walk up to that dude and kill him. So the guy just walks up, guy's walking his dog, boom, shoots him, walks back. What is that about? That's one, showing that you'll play ball.
Right.
Two, now I got something on you.
Yeah.
Now you can't just go to the fucking cops and be like, hey, dude, I've been working with this mob boss, and he's running coke over here, and he's giving coke over here. Nah, dude, you watch me commit a fucking murder, dog. This stuff with this dark shit with children, where all these kids get kidnapped. This is about initiation. This is about you. First of all, what we've seen with all these mayors, like 11 mayors within the
Seattle.
last 2 years have been arrested for pedophilia. And here's what happens, man. What they do, the very smart people who use the internet, they track people. And in particular, I think that's what these YouTube channels are. Have you heard about these creepy YouTube channels?
No.
There's a bunch of YouTube channels that are so like mainstream corporate kiddie porn, basically. It's like everything up to that point where the kids are doing very suggestive stuff. It's on YouTube. And anybody who watches those videos, they start tracking you. They start tracking your shit. Now they see you got a tendencies. Now they see you got this and this and this. I watch some weird shit. I'm like, oh, they know my shit that I'm into.
Yeah.
Nothing illegal, but like weird ass shit, right?
Give me a Russian woman in her 50s.
Yeah, let me see a chick get humped by a dog. I've watched it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I've been to Amsterdam.
Yeah, who hasn't, dude? So, anyways, so they start tracking it. Now they see, hey, man, you have interest in running for government. I want to be mayor. All of a sudden, dude, through the powers that be, dude, because their reach is far and wide, they start to fast track you, dude. They start to fast track, and all of a sudden, every election's working out your way, Then you meet these people, and they're like, hey, man, come party with us. Hey, dude, some weird shit's going down. You want to do some weird shit? And, I can't do that. Oh, come on, dude. You like weird shit? He's like, okay, I like.
You have to say that there are certain level of quote unquote fixers inside of any industry that can fast track you through anything. That's what you're saying.
100%. You see it happen in Hollywood all the time. There's a very famous director or producer used to throw these huge coke and hooker parties, and you'd film everything. So when it came time for you to renegotiate your contract, he's like, hey, we're going to pay you this. He's like, nah, I don't want that. You're like, oh, you don't want that? Boots.
Right.
Here's you just fucking banging his tranny from behind. You're like, okay, I'll take that deal. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
So do you think that that's every level of government? If you want to be in government at a certain level, then you got to step through you got to step through this illegal door to say, are you willing to do anything to defend this empire as we grow?
If you listen to if you check out the book by William C. Cooper, is it William C. Cooper?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He talks about the initiation in there. And he talks about comes a time where they're going to ask you to do this. And if you say no, they'll be like, good, you did that. That's what we were looking for. But they didn't want that. They wanted the guy that would do it. And no matter what you do after that, you'll never get a chance to advance. And you'll try and you'll try and try. But you didn't fucking pass the initiation. And you don't get brought up to that. So people always go, oh, man, dude, at 9/11, there's aliens. It's NASA aliens. Oh, someone would say something. You don't get to that level.
Right.
Unless they're absolutely sure you fucking play ball. And that's why we'll never, ever. And if you do come forward, look at Edwin Stone comes forward, right? Whether that's a real guy or not.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to his life. He had to go to fucking Russia, dude. Look at your boy Julian Assange that you said's dead. And now he's cloned.
I won't play ball, and that's why flappers won't book me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play ball.
All right. This guy plays ball. Guys, this has been definitely one of our creepiest episodes. Anybody here leaving a little uncomfortable?
You guys should get used to it. If you see that we're in the basement, just know that it's going to get weird.
I thought this was a great episode.
Yeah.
You guys are both
Thank
very
God
fun.
we made it to the basement. We weren't just strangled in the stairwell.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm
poor
glad.
Jonbenet.
I personally did not eat pineapple before coming to this fucking
No, with
basement.
pineapple and yogurt.
Yeah.
That's gross.
That is gross. And it's rude. It's
The
rude.
that's her last supper.
I bet you the Benets love fucking pineapple on their pizza. There's nothing.
Well, it's
I
just
don't
the
care
two
how
now.
hot you are.
It's just Dad and Burke. They're like
That's true. Do you
chilling.
still think they talk?
Oh, they moved to another country and they, like, I'm sure there's every once in a while like, yo, murdered your sister, you dick, or whatever.
Well,
but-
I talked about autism earlier, and some people might get offended by this statement. I didn't mean it in that way because I know
Everybody's on the spectrum somewhere.
But it is true. But if you watch the video he did, the interview he did with
really
Dr.
weird.
Phil, it is creepy. It's like that creepy, like weird kind of like serial killer spectrum
Right.
that you're like, oh, dude, something's going on.
Yeah,
He's like,
inappropriate smiling
Yeah.
and
shit,
laughing
you
and
know.
just like, something's going on there. That's just, when you're, as a comedian, when your bullshit meter goes off, you could fucking tell. It goes fucking off.
But you know, Dr. Phil has that thing in his eyeball
Oh,
that Madeline McCann had.
well, dude, you see, he did a pedogate thing, and it got huge. And he actually, whoa,
What?
this is so
What,
interesting.
did he really do that?
Oh, he did a huge one. And guess what happened? I think it was in Iceland. He got kicked off the fucking air there. They kicked him off.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look it up when we get some internet.
All
I
right.
think he got kicked off. One country kicked him off, and I think it was fucking Iceland. So interesting.
There'll be that one, like the conspiracy theory where people come after you now. Like, dude, we got to keep this Jonbenet thing silent.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm gonna have
linchpin of
little,
all
I'm
of
gonna
it.
have little like fucking
If they figure
beauty
this out-
contestants hanging out with me, these talking dolls staring at me like some creepy horror film. Andy, thanks for coming on.
Oh, sure.
Anything you want to promote real quick?
I'm going to be harvesting my weed plants. No, I'm not promoting that. I'm
Okay,
just- yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm up to.
Ha ha, wink, wink. Ha ha,
Yeah,
wink,
yeah.
wink. John, anything you want to
Medicine.
promote?
Yeah, iTunes album Pre-Existing Condition. Pick it up.
And October 10th, again, if you're in LA, you're in Southern Cal, come to Comic Con, dude. I mean, what are we going to call? We're going to call not Comic Con.
Conspiracon.
Tinfoil Hat Comedy Night.
Yeah, Tinfoil Comedy Night and live podcast.
Come dressed like your favorite character from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love it if you guys dress like me or
It's
Sam.
so funny, dude. Final thoughts.
Now, I've been digging it. You guys have been giving us really good suggestions at tinfoilhatpod@gmail.com. Keep them coming in. We're going to get to them. So.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If it's too dark, sorry about that, but we love it. Guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been Tinfoil Hat. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.